Oh, we're on.
Gone live. Great. I've just pressed record as well. So I think we've got Penny online with us as well, which is great.
I just so you know, I can't actually press record. I've just discovered.
Oh, really?
It won't let me because I'm recording.
Okay, so it must only let one end record at the same time.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Hey.
Tanya. Hi, Penny. Do you have lunch, Penny?
Do you have lunch?
Me.
I've got lunch.
I've got coffee.
And coffee.
I just wanted coffee.
Got lunch. Oh, you got water, Penny. Oh, well done.
All right, so Penny, just to let you know, I'm going to be in charge of just muting anyone who comes in, and then we'll open it up for some questions maybe at the end.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for logging on, and yeah, let's get going.
Perfect.
I can mute myself if you want.
Perfect.
Lovely. Tanya, you know what? We've been so lucky because I think, did we say 4? Is this 4 times now?
4 times.
Yay!
10 days.
So in about 10 days, we've actually managed to be able to catch up with Tanya, and I just love working with Tanya. I've had her help me at home here, change my office from over there to over there.
No, wait a minute, your office was over there and there.
Yeah. So my office was everywhere. I actually, that was why I needed Tanya's help, and she was amazing. And it is about sometimes just working together anyway. So for us to be able to do that together was so, as well as being fun.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, but you get so much done in a short period of time. So
yeah, 3 hours. We got you an office in 3 hours.
Yeah, and we got to throw out a heap of stuff that I didn't need, and so yeah, that was massive.
Yeah,
it was really good.
Huge. Absolutely.
So Tanya, some people who don't actually know who you are. So who are you? Tell us. Who are you?
Okay, well, I'm Tanya. I've been married for 22 years. My business is Starting Fresh, and I organize and declutter people's homes or offices or sheds or lives or whatever. I can also help with moving, packing and unpacking and getting that kind of stuff done. We have 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl, all in their teens. And I started Starting Fresh because we were on the verge of bankruptcy at the whole global financial crisis time, and there was nobody hiring, so I had to do something.
Yeah.
And so my cousin kicked me up the butt and said, do what you're good at.
Yeah.
And turn it into a business. And I did.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. And I love it.
And isn't it true? Like, so many people could have a business just doing the things that they love.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, with a bit of help and a bit of sometimes encouragement, we can actually make that into a lot more. I mean, if it wasn't for her in the first place, you wouldn't have probably even had the confidence to go and do that.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Even on the first job that I had booked, I was confident driving there, and then I got there and I walked in and I went, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. I can't be paid for this.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of slapped myself in the head and got busy, and then they booked me another time.
Yeah.
And
you probably finished at a high because you're like, oh my God, I can do it.
And I get paid for it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
cool.
exactly
I love
right.
it. I love it because no 2 jobs are the same ever.
Yeah. That's another big plus is when you're doing something that has such diversity, and you can help anyone with anything.
Yep.
And different people out of different, you know, whether it's a mum with just organising the kids' stuff at home, or whether it's an office that needs organising, creating. But you know, workplaces.
Yeah, absolutely.
People downsizing.
Yep.
Older people that
definitely. I work with a lot of elderly who are downsizing. I've done actually a couple of 3 retail shops I've reorganized.
Yeah, cool.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was really thinking outside the box. That was very different, because then you're dealing with customers coming in and out and their perception on the shop. So that was really, really a cool challenge.
Yeah. And you did all that obviously while the shop was open.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it was good because then I could see how people walked into the shop and the grievances that the shop owner had.
Yes.
I was able to stand back and have a look and see how it all went. And then I was able to reshift the shop that way. Yeah. That worked better for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Pretty cool.
It is very cool. I love the diversity of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No 2 jobs are ever the same.
Yeah.
Ever.
And we talked about the book that you could do. we talk about stories.
Yes.
And, you know, stories are a big part of business. And if you can
Absolutely.
share stories on the different things that you do or experiences you've had, people can relate to that. So it's a really great way.
That is on my to-do list.
Yeah.
More and more, it's sort of creeping forward because a couple of people are nagging me. But it is on the to-do list.
Yeah. That's good. That's really good. I'm excited. I'm excited about everything that's coming.
Yeah, we're going to get there.
So Tanya, I've got a question for you. Obviously, Starting Fresh has been born, I assume, from your zone of genius.
Absolutely.
So tell us what your zone of genius is.
Give me the most crazy job and watch me fly and just get it organized. I've only been stumped once, and I was just telling Kirsty about that a little while ago, but that was because she didn't want to be organized. She wanted to live amongst it, but the zone of genius, any organizing job, any. Like when we started here, you knew your office was everywhere, and so I went, well, we need to create an office. So we talked about different ways. I guess the ideas I come up with is what my zone of genius is, because I can look at almost anything and come up with a different idea, and I try to come up with a lot of ideas.
Multiple ideas, so that you can then also work with the client. Because it's not about
my home.
That's what I remember you saying. It's not for me. So the way I would think it should be organized might not suit the client.
So what I always tell people is it's not what works for me, it's what works for you guys, because it's your home, your office, your shop, your family. No two families are the same. No two businesses are the same.
No.
Even if you have different employees in a business, they don't all work the same. So I'm able to also look at that and help structure the way each person can work and get their office set up so it's more functional and it's able to be they're able to be more productive.
I would say even your zone of genius is being able to extract out of them
information,
what it is they want. You know, the skill in being able to talk to them and ask them the right questions to know how to get the information you need.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I tell my husband I have multiple personality disorder all the time. Because in my head, I'm screaming out different things, but when I'm talking to my clients, I'm making sure I listen to what their needs are. It's all about the client. It's not about me and organizing the way I want it. It's about organizing them the way they want it and what's going to work for them. Because if I put a system in place that they don't like, it's just going to go back to square one. So it has to be about what's going to work for the person.
Definitely. Very cool.
So Tanya, tell us, are there any business challenges when you've been working with people? I kind of want to split this question into two. Obviously, from a personal perspective, with your business, there's probably a challenge or two that you've come across that you've had to overcome that we can talk about. But then also from a client perspective, have you had any clients that you've thought, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but then you've come through it?
Well, the first one, the challenges is doing this, putting my face out there. That's huge. Still want to keep that little bit of anonymity because people do get very sensitive about people knowing that they've got somebody coming in when they're disorganized. So that's a very big challenge. To be able to get my foot in the door, promote my business, possibly take before and after pictures without them getting upset. So to overcome that challenge, because that was a huge hurdle in the beginning, was I tell them I'll give them a fake name and fake suburb. Unless they're quite happy for me to say, no, use my suburb, use my name. Because they're embarrassed. So that's pretty hard. And sometimes it's even harder to get my foot in the door because it's very personal. And as far as clients, I usually have to listen to the terminology that they use to know whether or not they're ready. I had one lady in my first year. I could tell the whole time that I was sitting there talking to her that she wasn't going to book me, and then when she did, she wouldn't be happy because she liked living in the situation that she was in. So I purposely kept that day free for her because I knew it was going to be I'll book you and then you'll cancel and I'll book you and I'll cancel. And she did it about 4 times.
Wow.
But I kept that morning open because I thought, no, she's going to last minute want me to come in, go through and do. Sure enough, 8:30, can you come? Sure. So I did the whole job for her, and then she was really unhappy with the job. And it wasn't anything I did. It was basically.
She wasn't ready.
She wasn't ready.
It's like anything, isn't it? You have to be ready to, if you're an alcoholic and you want help with that, you need to accept that you are and then move forward. And it doesn't matter. It's the same sort of thing. So if people aren't ready to move forward, it doesn't matter what happens. They're not going to happen.
And the biggest thing with helping people getting organized and decluttered is the emotions behind it.
Yeah.
So you have to be very, very
sensitive to that.
Very sensitive to that.
Oh, it's like the hoarders shows. You know, we've all seen the hoarder shows on the telly. And I mean, they're an extreme, but man, the emotional baggage they must have would be
like how they
a million
work
times either. No, they're pretty hardcore.
They are.
Well, what they show us, it's always hard to tell.
That's true.
You never know what's real and what's just making television.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
so like when it comes to the emotional stuff, I usually have a tendency to turn around and go find something else to take their mind away.
I remember you saying to me about that trick, that one where the lady.
So I had that client in North Adelaide, and we were 5 generations up in the house.
Yeah.
And she was getting upset as we were going through her uncle's stuff, and I could tell that I found out he was a real jerk. That's putting it politely. And so I could see she was starting to get emotional, which means then we wouldn't have gone through his stuff.
Yeah.
And so I quickly went, that's okay. We all have uncles like that. And I went, let me tell you about Uncle Jackass.
Yeah.
And then I just started to tell her all kinds of crazy stories.
Yeah.
And before we knew it, an hour later, we'd gone through all his stuff that was done. And she went, oh, you're good.
But see, that's a skill in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, so
it
I
really
just got her to go through it without getting all emotional, because then they're drained and it's not fun. So
no,
I
that's
really
the
try to make
personal
it
aspect.
fun.
Yeah, the personal aspect of it that you can really bring to the table. And so for anybody that even has an older family member that maybe needs help, and maybe they don't have time to even put in for them, or they just know that they could do with some extra help and even thought process. Yeah, that's a great thing.
And a lot of times family getting involved is not a good idea.
No,
either. Because
sometimes somebody external detached is better.
Yeah, because they think they're taking over and they're telling them what to do, and that can be.
Or there's hidden agenda.
Yes, and sometimes there is actually
there is hidden agenda.
There has been some that have had family hidden agenda, and they've taken what they wanted, and then the parents were very unhappy, which is not good.
No.
So, does that answer?
Yeah, it does. And Tanya, I wanted to ask you something else, and this is going to it won't throw you, but it's not something that we had asked you prior. Okay, so you were saying before that sometimes people feel a little bit nervous about even having you come to their house, right? It's like I'm living in what I perceive to be squalor or whatever, and there's a person who I've never met before coming. So why don't you talk us through exactly what it looks like if you were to come to my house, from where to go, what does that conversation look like from the beginning with you, and what do you what can I expect from you when you turn up to my house?
Oh, okay, yes, well, throw me a little bit. Okay, so basically the first thing I do is I look the person straight in the eye. I don't look around, so that they know that I'm humanizing myself and them and the situation, because I don't want them to think that I'm judging. And I don't judge. It's sort of like and this is what I tell people who are frightened for me to be in the door. I say, I'm like an accountant. I see the numbers, but it doesn't stick in my head. It doesn't.
That's a good way to put it.
It's like, okay, that's a number. Well, let's sort that. Okay, this is a challenge. You need to sort this. Let's just do it.
Yeah, what do you need?
I don't even see it anymore. I could get home and John can ask me what I did, and I go, I organized the house. Sometimes I come across some really cool stuff, and the clients will let me take pictures. But basically, I tell them, let's sit down and have a chat, because they have to decide that they like me. And I make sure that they know that there's no judgment, and that the job's easy. We can do it. Don't worry about it. It's not a problem. And then I usually have to tell them, you haven't scared me off.
Yeah.
Because some people think they're going to scare me off. North Hadley client, that 5 generations one, she was convinced that the minute she showed me around the house, I was never going to come back. Challenge accepted.
Yeah, that's great.
And I love it. Yeah. There's so much stuff. There's so much stuff to go through and deal with in the history, and you find out about them. And I always tell them by then we're going to become very good friends.
Yeah.
And I do, because it's very personal what we do.
Yeah.
So the biggest things I tell them, let's just sit down and chat.
Yeah.
Let's sit down and chat, and then we'll go from there. And then they go, well, do I need to show you? And I go, well, it would be good so we have a rough idea of what we're doing. Yeah. And at every point, I make a funny joke, not at their expense, but just something, just make it light and happy. And I go, it's easy, we could do this.
Yeah.
It's easy, we could do this. And then their shoulders seem to go down because they go, oh, she's not looking at it like it's a nightmare. And then usually what I end up having to tell them is, don't worry, I've seen worse. And it really is the truth.
Yeah. Or you could imagine seeing worse.
Yeah. And I go, well,
once you get to your
and
worst.
then I even tell them, I go, you're not on Hoarders.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's truly part about making them feel really, really comfortable and relaxed, and that it's going to be easy and it's going to be okay. And I'm not going to tell them what to do with their belongings. We're going to come up with a logical decision. And working with the elderly, they really don't get rid of much.
Yeah.
They really don't. That gets frustrating for me because everything is worth something and it's actually not.
Yeah.
But, you know, I do what they want. It's their belongings. They paid money for it, not me. And yeah, it's all about making them truly feel that I don't judge, and it's going to be easy fix.
Yeah.
It might take time, but it's going to be an easy fix.
And I think it's such a great example and something you can carry over. It doesn't matter what your business is. Whoever, especially when it's a service-based business, it comes down to making people feel comfortable and feel at home and feel like they can trust you to help them. And so if you can make sure you can portray that message across in whatever your service or business is, then you're going to be able to create a client. Yeah. You know, it's really all about creating the client. Every time we're speaking with someone, we are creating the client we're going to work with. Because if you make that connection, and it really doesn't matter what the business is. So that's brilliant. And I think that in itself, that becomes a skill. And I think it's beautiful when you're working in your zone of genius, because it can be so overwhelming for others in a completely different, that specialize in different areas. But when it's your zone of genius, you just can't wait to get into it. So
bring it.
Yeah.
Bring it.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
So Tanya, tell me, now come closer to the mic because your sound was just going in and out there just a little tiny bit.
Okay.
We want to see really, really close up like this. We want to be able to see right up there. Yeah, like that, like that. So obviously you have so much to offer to the Smart Chicks community as a whole. To anyone who's outside of the Smart Chicks community, I totally think that you should check Tanya out on Starting Fresh. We're actually going to be putting her details below in the YouTube vid. And I guess, do you have something that you've sort of thought, oh, you know, the Smart Chicks would really love this, or the people that have seen this would really love this offer that you could give to them? Where are you kind of at with that?
Well, this morning's questions was good for that.
Now I have to remember this morning's question.
Oh, just all of the posts about the 7 days or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've come up with.
I haven't really come up with something. This is probably one of my business downfalls, is that I'm not creative when it comes to coming up with that kind of stuff. Throw me in a shed or an office and get it organized, but to actually go and put something in place is where I get a little bit stuck.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping to do a workshop of some sort, and I'm thinking about basing it around mainly home offices, but I think I'm going to branch out a little bit with that and just kind of do a general house organizing workshop.
Yeah.
And look at the simple little things that some people just don't know how to do, or can't figure it out, or they get stuck because they've been staring at it for too long. So I'm thinking about doing a workshop. But if any of the smart chickies want to have a chat because they're needing a bit of help somewhere, then I'm going to do a free 30-minute consult. I am going to offer for the smart chickies as John called you guys.
Yeah, smart chickies. She said this morning.
He goes, "Are you going to see the smart chickies today?" For the smart chickies, I'm gonna offer an hour consult, and within that hour, we're gonna do a little bit of work and set up some homework for you guys if there's an area that's bugging you.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's very cool.
So that's my offer to the smart chickies.
Yay! Oh, that's great. And I think
Tanya,
the 7-day thing will be great too.
Yes.
I was just going to say, Tanya, that is such an amazing offer as well, because I know like our time really is the most valuable thing that we have, isn't it? So to be able to add an extra half an hour for our members, that's amazing. Yeah. And I just wanted to also add that you have such a fantastic win in the last week. I've noticed that you set up your Starting Fresh Declutter Club.
Yes.
And when I went in there this morning, it looked like there was almost 175 people in there. Is that sort of around the number?
Yeah. Started with 10.
Yay! Organic. Go organic.
yeah, it's gotten huge, and I love how it's going, and I love that everybody
interaction.
Absolutely, and that people aren't afraid to actually put in their photos and have fun with it. So I'm really enjoying it, and thank you, Courts, for pushing me to do that. Especially because I was worried that I wouldn't be able to come up with the content, but it's actually made me start thinking and coming up with content. Like I actually am doing it.
Yeah, let's extract what I actually have in here.
Stuff in here. That's why I probably don't sleep. So it's actually coming out, and I love it. I love the interaction, and then I've met new people through it too.
Yeah,
which is really cool.
You've got new people coming in that you didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's business, isn't it? Like we know what we know, and we don't know what other people don't know. And sometimes we assume that they know what we do. And so when you actually take the time to give that value of information, some people will have heard of some things, but somebody will get something out of everything that you do.
Absolutely. And I love it because I even have past clients who joined.
Great.
Just so that they can, and I just love it. It's fun. It's so much fun.
Business has to be fun.
It does.
It is, and it does. Yeah. Good.
So Tanya, thank you so much for joining us today. And I just wanted to also say thank you to Penny and Miriam as well. We can see that you guys are having lunch with us. We forgot to mention at the beginning that EatNGreet really is about spending about half an hour with us. We're going to introduce you to a fantastic entrepreneur from our Smart Chicks community. And, you know, we know that you guys sometimes actually skip lunch or you have lunch by yourself. So feel free to just bring it. I was just saying before that I've actually made myself
Miriam's got I can see she's not eating.
Miriam.
She's water.
So maybe not quite.
Both skipping lunch today.
Miriam's just showing, I don't know if it's videoing, but I think Miriam's just showing us her water and her apple that she's stolen off her desk. It's probably rotting. But But I just wanted to say, guys, feel free to join us every single Tuesday at 12 o'clock Central Standard Time here in Australia. We're in Adelaide, so all you eastern suburbs folks, just make sure that you're adding half an hour to the time. And we're going to make sure that we chat. Chandon. So we're actually just going to make sure that we go ahead and put the Starting Fresh details below, and we're also going to make sure that we put a link to Tanya's offer as well, and we'll also put a link to the Smart Chicks Coterie and our membership. For those of you guys who aren't familiar with that, you can check it out. We've got such a supportive community, and we really do aim to uplift and inspire women authentically. We don't want any BS, and we just want it to be a place where people can basically know that they're going to be supported. So thank you so much, Tanya. And for those of you who are interested in subscribing to our YouTube channel, feel free to hit subscribe, because we would love to see you every week.
Yay. Bye.
See ya.